Beast King.
Badu.
And the Beast King, Devin Daniels himself, Rorrie, Travis.
Rorrie.
Good job.
Thomas.
That's it. Take all the wind right out of your sails. No, it's so good to see you guys. Thanks for having you. It was a great cameo of the Power Rangers SPD theme song back there, too. That was awesome. Got to sneak that in.
Yeah.
Always good to have our SPD friends there.
Get over here.
Hey, there's the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
Cool. Look at all the colors now. Oh, man. Look at little Zoe, the Yellow Ranger. It's good to see you, kiddo. I love your costume. Awesome. Come be close so these guys can be as fun as they always are. Yeah. So welcome to Ranger Stop in Baduwalia. Again, guys, good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Always a pleasure to be a part of this time with us. Now, they've wanted us to play some games at these events, and you guys are all actors. Yeah. And so the first thing I kind of wanted to do was play a little game with you guys, Two Truths and a Lie. And basically, I wanted to tell you guys to tell any three things about yourself or the time on the show, one of which is a lie. The audience will choose. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe you're just good liars. That means you're good actors, right? Maybe they'll guess instantly, and, well, Power Rangers, so.
In my basement?
Oh, did you see that?
That was the lie.
That was the lie. I know, yeah.
Do you guys know yours yet?
It's okay if you don't know them yet.
No,
because I
I
just
don't.
made this on the fly and didn't give you any time
We'll
to
think
prepare.
about it. We'll think about
But
it.
yeah.
Truths and a lie.
But we can play it near the end if you want.
Yes,
and you can
yes,
think
that's
about
great.
it. Yeah. We can have some question time and some answer time and things like that.
sir. Okay.
Excellent. Let's start with that then. Already a hand up. I'm going to lead with one because I have one really quick. And then we'll go right to here, of course. You guys coming in, the first season under the new Hasbro banner of Power Rangers. I know you didn't necessarily work on the show prior to that, but how did the energy feel different going into this with a new team behind the brand?
I think we definitely felt like guinea pigs.
Yeah.
But I feel like since Hasbro adapted such an amazing season from the Japanese Sentai Go Busters,
I always say that too, Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I think that also helped us. I don't know. I think aside from spandex, we looked a little bit more like cooler in a sense.
For sure.
So and they were really helpful. You know, they were there for us when we needed anything. Every question was answered. So it was pretty a smooth transition.
Good.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, a very smooth transition. The biggest thing, and I would agree, we were kind of like the guinea pigs. We were the first Hasbro season. In our season 1 and 2 were different. So season 1, they were definitely testing out how we were, our dynamics, how they were going to work potentially with the future Ranger cast after us. But season 2, I feel like we had definitely more freedom as far as our characters and how we wanted to take them.
And we were more comfortable.
We were definitely more comfortable. I mean, the whole season 1, we had, 4 directors. So, they have a big hand in our acting.
And an acting coach.
We had an acting coach. Shout out to Claire Chipman. We had a brilliant acting coach who had a definite hand in us developing our characters. So they wanted to make sure we had a grasp of what Power Rangers was, what it meant to other people, and that our stories, come from something. You guys might not know Devin's backstory or what happened to his mom or, where's Robbie's dad and all that stuff, but that's the type of exercises that she would have us do. We need to know our backstory so we know our characters in and out. We can jump in and jump out with different things. So that was season 1. Season 2, I mean, we just Claire was no longer worked on the show. She went to do another project, and we knew exactly. Yeah, we were down, we were ready, and I feel like season 2 is definitely where you guys saw or really could feel our chemistry, our personalities.
A lot more like character development too.
Yeah.
I would say I'm really, really grateful we were the first Hasbro season because of that simple fact. Just being the first Hasbro season, I think, is iconic and will always be known as that. And also just getting to have toys, made by Hasbro, I think is super cool. And just knowing that Hasbro is such a big, company is awesome to be a part of that. So, yeah, I think
forever immortalized.
We also hear all the time that we're the season that saved the franchise. Thank you for that. You agree? Yeah. Does anybody else? Does anybody else think that? Period. Woo! Happy to hear that. Thank you.
Kind of on a downhill
Thank you.
slope.
So yeah, grateful for that.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
I know.
Yeah, they say our season was even better than Mighty Morphin.
Listen to that.
We're gonna let everybody walk out on us right now.
It was so unique, though. There were a lot of stories told that they would
We
not have
saved
told on
the
other seasons. So
franchise.
it really happened. It really
Austin
happened
himself
that way.
personally called me and said, "Thank you for saving Power Rangers."
Yeah.
I can see it. Thanks for
He
doing
shed
it.
a tear.
Yeah.
So did I.
I can see it.
Gave us a book and all.
You
heard the tear through the phone.
Yeah,
So
I may
yeah,
have been
that's
dreaming,
it.
but it happened.
That's it. Let's get started with some of these guys' questions, and we can come back to
Sure.
other stuff too. Here we go.
Oh wait, did you go?
Let's go here. Good call. Thank you. Here you go.
You stole my thunder with the question. I appreciate it.
Dun dun dun. Nobody can steal your light.
Thank you. First of all, you guys look class out. So
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Mark.
Mark.
Oh yeah. Hello.
It's on.
Hi guys. Thank you, man. I just had a little question about the kind of like you guys were kind of a backdoor like ender to RPM with Vendrix coming back, and me watching it is a bit of a surprise to me to see that, and it was very welcome. I loved it. Thought it was great. Thank you. So I wanted to know, like, was that kind of something that you guys had prior knowledge to, or did they kind of let you guys know ahead of time, like, hey, you know,
Not at all.
not at all?
Not at all.
But I feel like we all kind of had a feeling it was leaning towards RPM, especially when they brought like Dr. K back, and I don't know, just some of the storylines was matching up with RPM. But Chip was very secretive because I think he wanted to keep it a surprise even from us. So, which he did a really good job. So when we found out, we all kind of knew, but it still definitely came off as a shock.
I think
Yeah.
they purposely kept it from us, like all like the future things happening in the show. I mean, Chip also said that it was like to keep our, you know, like excitement or like maybe not really like plan our performances, knowing where we're going and stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think it was definitely to benefit our performance. He even did that actually with the sets. When we first got to New Zealand, they were still, you know, building the sets and finalizing them, and it was like a rule, like a very serious rule that he had about us not going into the warehouses and seeing the sets until they were completely done. And he took us for the first time, and we got the big grand tour, and I think that also helps with the performance. Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't assume. I had no. Because the thing about it, when we're getting these episodes, you guys, we work in blocks, and we do 3 episodes in a block. And what? That's 3 weeks, right? Yeah.
9 days.
9 days. Oh wow, 2. A little bit more. So we're filming 3 episodes in 9 days, and on a Monday we get the script, 3 scripts for that whole time. So we have our read-throughs on Mondays, and literally I can remember sitting there, and I think you had the line maybe.
Which one?
They introduced Evox as Venjix.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember.
probably.
But it was very mind blowing because RPM was my favorite season. So
Same.
Dun,
And
dun,
getting
dun.
to work with Dr. K and being
Yeah.
like
Who
the
was great.
scientist, that was iconic.
Olivia was amazing. Like,
And she also choreographed the musical episode, which is my favorite ever. Obviously, I'm sure you guys know why.
shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Because she was pregnant during that entire time.
She was.
Choreographed, filmed,
So
worked
we
with
worked
us.
with her when she was choreographing, never knowing that she would later come on the show as Dr. K. Yeah. We also have the same birthday, fun fact.
Nice.
And Erin Cahill,
Oh,
who's
sweet.
here this weekend.
Yeah, she was just here right before you guys.
Oh, was she? Cool.
Yeah, awesome. Erin
Birthday
Cahill.
twin.
Yeah, birthday twins. It's awesome.
She's like Time Force, is she? Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to the ATL.
Hey, Jalissa.
Hey.
We love the ATL.
Yes, thank you for coming back. Question for Abe, what is the name of your book coming out next year? And Rorrie and Jazz, have you ever thought about writing something?
Girl, you know I'm not gonna announce that and give it away for the first time here.
I love
It's gonna be a
Jazz.
post on Instagram, okay?
The right way, the right way.
Thank you. I'm just kidding. No, but I do appreciate your anticipation for it. I will say that it comes out next summer, so a year from now. And it is a lot longer than Mixed Feelings, my first poetry book, if you guys aren't familiar. And thank you. And yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. I'll tell you, maybe I'll give you insight on what it's about. Do you want to hear that? Do you guys all want to hear that?
Our
I want
bodies
to hear your
do.
excitement.
I
Okay,
think we
thank
do.
you.
You want to hear? Do you guys want to hear?
Yes.
I'm not going to give you the title either, but it is a poetry book that goes into a lot more detail about my own personal stories and experiences than Mixed Feelings did, because I wrote Mixed Feelings in a way that everybody would be able to connect to it and relate to it regardless of gender, experience, whatever. But with this new one, I really, really do tell my story, and it's a lot longer, and it touches on subjects like Mixed Feelings. It's kind of like a sequel. There's a chapter that like really tells who I'm like, not who I'm talking about, but like what I experienced with who I wrote about in Mixed Feelings. And then it also, a new topic, talks about like the church and like me growing up in the church and like my religious trauma and like, you know, just like growing up in the LGBTQ community and in church and everything that, you know, comes with that. So I touch on that, and then also just like my journey of becoming comfortable in my sexuality and, you know, all of that. So I do that with the intention of, you know, hopefully inspiring and helping people who have gone through similar experiences know that, you know, it gets better, and we're human, and we're here to feel and just be human and enjoy the experience. Like, life is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have a good time. Just love, you know, be happy. Easier said than done. But like, really, what else do you want to do here? You want to have a bad time? You know what I mean? It's just like, let's have fun, guys. Let's just love each other, you know? But that's basically the gist of it. So next summer, thank you.
It's called Mixed Emotions.
Mixed emotions, mixed experiences.
Right.
Yes, I think I plan. I want to. It's something similar, just kind of touching on experiences of being, you know, black and in the United States, and you know, really, I've had an interesting upbringing because I never considered myself the guy who wanted to be like anybody else. I've always was my own type of guy, and in discovering like, you know, a culture, and there's a whole group of people who are undervalued, underprivileged, who don't get a lot of representation. I said, wow, like that's me. And I've been kind of handling that and doing that in my own accord, in my own life by myself. And then discovering, this is only like in high school, you know, and discovering like, wow, you know, we really did something for this country. We're really growing as a people. And I think the book that I would potentially write is something just to show homage to that, to show homage of the struggle, being a South Carolinian boy with a small upbringing and a dream, and the dream came true. Yeah. Period.
Period.
Point.
I've always kind of wanted to, but I was always scared to write a book just because I don't know where to start or even what to do. But it would be something similar. I would write about it as being, the trials and tribulations of becoming a performer in this industry, especially being of someone of color, and, you know, what kind of motivated me, how to get over, you know, certain insecurities and stuff like that. So yeah, something a little similar to theirs, but I do really want to write about the industry and as growing as a person in the industry.
Period.
Cool. So what will your titles be? Your potential titles?
Baduwalia, the story to success.
This is me.
I'm exactly what
Stairway to heaven.
Rorrie D. Travis, this is me.
Ooh, let the light shine on me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Mine would probably be like, let the light shine.
On me. On me. In parentheses.
Mixed emotions, mixed feelings, and then yours dot, and all that.
Yeah.
What's going on, girl?
Sequel.
Do you have a question? That's hot. Denise.
Hi, everybody.
Hola.
Hey. So they asked me, did I have a question? I said, I do. So what was you guys' favorite like episode to shoot? Like, do you have like a specific favorite where it's like, this is my favorite day?
Yeah. You're gonna sit and listen to it.
So my favorite episode to film definitely was the Halloween episode. I got to play like 3 to 4 different characters. Got to work with a vocal coach with Jazz to develop our British accents, our Cockney accents, and that was fun. A Cockney accent. We had to work with Jim, and it was Jim's a funny guy. But yeah, I had to do I had to do kind of like not a Scottish accent, but I had to do like the barbarian accent with the scene with Jackie and, look at you, what's her name, Zoe Reeves, and she had a name, I can't remember her, but I was Devin, son of Daniels. And then literally the whole time we filmed in that block, it was just fun. I had to be in different outfits. Jackie threw an axe, the axe where that went flying before we went to commercial, that the axe hit me in the what part, so that was fun. That was like, whoa, wait a minute, and she just laughed, and I was like, Jackie, that kind of hurt, even though it was like plastic. And then, but the thing about, it was my favorite episode to work with, but it was also the hardest one for me. Very, very hard because I had to narrate the episode too. So I'm acting and narrating. And I can remember literally in one scene I had on the thing that the Viking outfit that I had with Jackie, but I was in somebody else's scene. And literally, guys, I was just started almost not a panic attack, but just like an anxiety attack. I just started sweating bricks, and I could not remember my lines. It was hot, lights are on me, and I just needed a moment. And I was the first time that I ever done that on set, so I was kind of, psyching myself out already in me psyching out. But I had a great team behind me. I mean, Jazz is always the guy that's like, yo, bro, you're good, push through it, this and this and that. Anything that I need, he knows what to say. And then the director at the time, Ollie, was also very encouraging for me to get through that scene too. So, yeah, that was my favorite episode. You guys?
The music hall, but I said that. So Jazz.
I would say my favorite episode to film was the one that I get caught painting, and I come out to my mom, and I think that episode was very endearing. That was me and the actress that played it, Twila, amazing actress. We had talked about it that we rarely get scenes that are so real like that. So playing that character was playing that. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That episode was something that I can resonate to, of hiding, like something that you really wanted to do artistically and actually saying it in the fear of resentment from your mom, and she actually ended up accepting it. So that was one of my favorite episodes.
Awesome. Good answer. Abe, do you want to talk about the musical episode at all, Abe? You don't have to, but do you want to talk about anything about it specific? It's great to get some great.
They cut me and Jackie's dance scene out. I know that much.
Mine too. I was in that.
Oh man.
I was in that. Yes, I was in the breakdancing scene. It was probably because I was terrible.
It was
and
ass.
they were like, we can't use it. I'm just kidding, because I did work my ass off in those rehearsals. And I actually had no days off for an entire month. Wow. Because my one day off, I was going to the studio and rehearsing with Dr. K. And then they did one group rehearsal. But yeah, it was really, really fun. So, why am I not using the mic and yelling?
So basically, when we were saying earlier about how we don't know anything ahead of time, I literally just got a text from Chip, our executive producer, asking if I could sing or dance. And I got a text like this earlier on when me and Jazz were in that tunnel episode, and then there's the spider. I'm scared of spiders, or are you? I'm scared of spiders.
You're scared of spiders.
Thank you. I forgot, obviously. 44 episodes, guys. Come on. And so then when we did that episode, Chip was like, oh, are you comfortable with spiders or working with spiders, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And then next thing I know, I'm working with a spider. So then when I get a text about, can you sing or dance, I'm like, oh, what's coming up? What's next? What does this mean? And I was like, well, I'm not a singer, and I'm not, a professionally trained dancer, but I am comfortable learning, choreography, and I know I can pick it up well, so, right? So then I guess they made it work to where, as you guys know, coming out of Steel is my voice and coming out of me is Steel's voice. So I think the reason they did that is because they said that it would have been too hard for the kids to know who's who, but it also ended up working out so I didn't have to sing. But anyway, next thing I know, we get the scripts and it's this musical episode, and I'm like, dude, shut the is there any kids in here? We're only in the kids zone. That's funny. So yeah, basically, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought, and I can talk forever, so I'm gonna cut it short.
Oh, so
saw
then
it
I go to
and
my
you were
first.
happy.
I know, Jazz. I'm sorry. You've heard this story 10 million times, but I'm gonna tell it again. So then I go to the first rehearsal. We're hearing like the "It's Great to Be Human" song, which ended up obviously being in the show. But before that, it wasn't like finished yet. So we just had kind of like an idea of like the rhythm and the vibe, and I'm hearing it, and then I'm like, I tell Liv, Dr. K, I'm like, this sounds a lot like the melody of "We're All in This Together" from High School Musical 1. So then I start singing it to the track of "It's Great to Be Human," and it works perfectly. And later on, I find out that the director told the composer like High School Musical vibes, which is so crazy because I grew up obsessed with High School Musical. Like, High School Musical is what made me want to be an actor. Thank you for the woo and the claps. High School Musical is it. Thank you.
Do you want to sing a song now?
I don't want to sing a song now,
Okay.
but if you come to the lip sync contest later, I may or may not be performing. So love High School Musical. Ended up getting to do a musical and live that dream through the show. So very grateful. It's great. It's great. Thank you guys. Next question.
That's awesome. That's a good question, Denise.
Yes, sir.
What do you got, buddy, in the Power Rangers hat in the back here?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
I have a question for Ronnie.
Now, wait a minute. Ron is my father and my older brother.
That's who he's asking.
Oh, yes.
At the end of the season, you became the commander of the whole base. How did you do that?
Okay, but what's my name first?
Rorrie,
Okay.
sorry.
Question one more time.
At the end of the season, the whole series, you was the commander of the whole base. How
Yes.
did you do that?
Well, I came up with the story of, Nate, he's a scientist, so he probably would have been the role for the commander, but he likes to be a scientist, he likes to be in his lab, and the freedom that comes with that. The commander's more of a restrictive role. Ravi was kind of in line initially in the beginning for the season, but he kind of took his life in a different route. I'll let him tell you that story, but we're talking about me, right? I had a conversation with the commander, who's now the general, and she just said, hey, I think you would be a good fit for the next commander. And I said, I think so too.
What I thought Devin had gotten hurt in battle, so he couldn't be a ranger anymore, so he became a paper pusher.
No, I became the Platinum Ranger.
So realistic. Oh, that's fantastic. In here? Yeah, here.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing good, yourself.
And before I ask my question, I must say I appreciate you guys signing the autograph for me last year. This question is for Rorrie.
Yes.
How do you feel? Was there a former Red Ranger that inspired you to want to be the Red Ranger?
Yeah, Ika Derville, especially, like I said, I'm a huge RPM fan. I think Ika did a brilliant job in his Ranger role as Scott. And then I like to see, it was good to see him because I actually saw him first in Jessica Jones. And that's where I was familiar with him in. So I was like, oh, wow, I think if I could follow somebody's footsteps, it would be that, just branching into Power Rangers, doing something else for a little while, and then, getting back into, superheroes, because that's just where, Spartacus, right? He was in Spartacus for a while. And Brandon, Jim McClure, Jack, that was my very first time seeing a black Red Ranger. And I grew up I grew up in the Disney era. So I saw Dino Thunder transition into SPD, and I did that brilliant episode where they did the Flash, the future, and I was just like, oh my God, no. And then the SPD came out, and like, boom, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so it fits. Jack, why'd you give the title to the blue? Sky. So, I was like, well, that was cool. Maybe I'll do that for Jazz, maybe in the future. We'll see.
I have no idea what he was talking about.
And thank you for also being a person of representation, as you said earlier.
Thank you.
Really important, yeah. We got a couple on this side. Okay, how about this little one? I'll come right back to you. Here you go, kiddo.
Hello. What is your favorite part? Melina?
Hi, Melina.
What's your favorite part of being a Power Ranger?
Ooh, what's
For
our
me,
favorite
it's coming out and seeing every single face in here.
part? Yeah.
That's what makes it worth it.
Okay.
Mine's is seeing all the Rangers from old, but definitely seeing my cast. It's like the only time where I really see these guys. So,
Y'all just want brownie points. Come on.
duh. Psh.
Be real. Just kidding. My favorite part, honestly, no, genuinely, it is like this. Doing conventions is one of my favorite parts, especially because it is such a unique thing that comes with being a part of this show that you don't get with every acting job. So, I don't know, like all the projects that I've worked on, you get really close to the cast, to the crew, you film with them for however long, and then it's on to the next project, and, you keep in touch or whatever, but then, sometimes you just fall out like anybody else. But with this show, and specifically with them, like, it's not that. And I've never even thought about it being that once, because we went through such a unique experience that really bonded us, I think, in a way that will forever be family, and especially them too. Like, I really do consider them brothers and my family, and some of the people that I feel the closest to, and especially, like, it's been 5 years for us now since we did the show. And they've known me for those 5 years, and they've seen me as, who I was when I first did the show. Straight, crazy. Crazy. At 18 years old, crazy, I know. Me, right? Just kidding. But yeah, so it's just like we've really just been with each other, and you don't get that with every cast. And also, like, it's just different. Like, when you film in LA, which I've done shows in LA, you go, you do the show, you go back home to your regular life. But with this, 8 strangers shipped off to New Zealand, forced to be together for 9 months. Like, how can you not bond? All we had was each other. So it's really, really special, and because of that, I'm grateful to be a part of this show. I wasn't gonna cry. My voice just like did something crazy. Genuinely.
Yeah, you choked up.
I choked up.
The thing that happened when
I'm sorry.
I am the first one to cry too.
What?
Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Melina.
Bye.
Goodbye, future Pink Ranger.
You're awesome. Yeah, she's ready to morph now.
Wow, I didn't even have to move for that. Earlier on in the panel, you folks were talking about working with the acting coach on season 1 and how she helped you to like develop the characters and the backstories. So I'm wondering, for each of you, what is your favorite fact about your character that people might not know?
Oh, what's a favorite?
For me, I think one of the things that I worked on when we were working with the acting coach at the beginning, and like we were saying, this, like setting up our storylines and stuff and how our characters grew up, I chose that Nate, as you guys know, started working in Grid Battle Force since he was 6 years old, and he grew up in a very professional environment. His parents weren't there. They were out, doing missions, helping the world. So he didn't grow up with any family at all. And that was like the complete opposite for me growing up. I come from a huge Mexican family. I have like 44 cousins on just like my mom's side, so I constantly grew up around so many people, and that was the complete opposite for Nate. So that was challenging for me, and that's what I wanted. And yeah, that was a really, did that answer your question? Why do I feel like that wasn't even your question? What was your question?
What's a fact that you can say about your character?
Oh yeah, that like Nate didn't come from like a big family versus like I did. I don't know. Does that answer it? I feel like it doesn't. I feel like that it does, but it doesn't. That's funny, huh? Am I funny? Anyway.
You're good, dude. You're hilarious.
You just gotta take this mic away from me.
You are hilarious.
I think one fact about Ravi Shaw, Mr. Ravi Shaw,
Wow.
is that I would say he wants to. Ravi wants to give up being a Power Ranger and be an artist and move to the countryside with his mom.
Period.
Wow.
Oh wow. Then why you could have done that?
I did. Season 3.
That's that's the after part. Yeah, exactly.
Mine's is back to my mom. Devin had does have a mom. She passed away. And that is why the mayor is as rigid and as strict as he is because he's also going through a hard time in dealing with that as well. So there's a backstory that explains why he is, why he's very strict with me, and all that stuff is because he just wants to hold me for as long as he can.
Mavox.
Do you guys have some behind the scenes insight of my very first scene? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I haven't told this story ever, but it was my very first scene in the lab when my character is introduced, and it's Mayor Daniels walking in with Commander Shaw, and if you guys remember, I'm like at the computer, and then she like introduces me, and I turned around because they were like holding the Morphers. And, or is it when I walk in? I think it was when I walked in. But the director was like, you know, very like professional, like, you know, he grew up in this professional environment around all of these adults. He's very mature, like, you know, scientist, smart, whatever. So I'm like, cool. And that was like this was my first big acting job. So I was just like, you know, listening to the director, listening, whatever he wanted. And looking back now, when I watch that scene, I would have done it completely differently. And I say that because the acting coach a lot of times would come and be like, you know, energy. And then the director would be like professional, like chill, like they would like contradict each other. But I think that's when it's important as an artist and as an actor to take that initiative, and you know what got you the role and what makes you unique and what you can bring to the table that nobody else can. And I think it's important to do that. So as you watch the show, I started to make more of like my own decisions, and Nate ended up becoming who he was. But it didn't start off that way. But yeah.
I second that, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So which of those stories do you guys think was the lie? Huh?
I love how you did that.
So you tie it back.
Good job.
It's okay if you didn't think about it. If you did think about it, that's cool. We're running low on time, though.
I
so
tried
we could,
to, then I remembered my
we could skip it altogether because you just...
No,
Power
let's
Rangers
do it.
never... Oh, yeah, I was going to say Power Rangers never lie, but Jazz
Two
really
truths
wants
and a
to do it.
lie, right?
Yeah,
I like
Jazz,
that,
you go
right?
first, yeah. But I like it too, but yeah. Would have gotten us out of it. He doesn't even have one.
It's done. It's done.
Give it up for the cast.
Thank you. Would you guys like to see us more?
Yeah, it's basement time.
Yes.
Go to the basement side.
We're not playing the game?
Are you ready?
But I came up with them.
If he's really come up with it, let's do it. Let's do it if he's really come up with it.
I came up with them. I had
Rory,
come
you
up
and
with
I.
them at the beginning, but I forgot kind of now. Let me remember again. Okay, wait, I remember. Hold on.
Robbie cheated on Roxy.
Okay, ready? So, what is it? 2 truths and 1 lie. I split the back of my pants and my underwear was showing when I did a tornado kick in one of the scenes. I had my first tequila shot and got drunk for the first time in New Zealand. And I dropped the helmet in one of the scenes on the set and it cracked.
Those are all very good. Those are all very good examples of any of those can happen. Yeah.
Exactly.
What do we think? Okay, let's start with who thinks number 1 is the lie.
Going twice, going 3.
What did I say first?
I said make sure you do it.
Okay, pants, tequila shot, or helmet.
Pants, tequila, helmet.
Okay, if you think the pants is a lie, make some noise, raise your hand. Okay, if you think the tequila shot is a lie? 18. What age was I when I started the show? 18. Wait, who thought the second one was the lie?
The tequila.
Okay. Y'all all think I'm an alcoholic or something. Like, damn. I'm like, only one person think that's a lie?
No, I can't see you drinking.
Anyway.
That is true.
I am Mexican. Okay, and then who thinks the helmet was the lie? Damn, y'all think I'm clumsy.
Oh, man. So what do we think? Which one's the lie? You got to tell us.
The helmet. Y'all think I would do that?
If you dropped the helmet, you probably would have gotten fired.
I'm professional. I take my job seriously. Thank you. I did get drunk for the first time in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Cosme,
who played Ben, bought me my first tequila shot in New Zealand.
Awesome.
And what was the first one? The pants. I did split my pants during a tornado shoot.
Wow.
I mean shoot.
Tornado kick.
A
Yeah.
tornado kick. Y'all know what I meant.
All right, my turn.
Cool. Okay.
I only worked out once in New Zealand.
You do not know how to play this game.
I only worked out once in New Zealand. Me and Rorrie almost got lost at a haunted mansion. The third thing is. This is hard.
It is, right?
Third thing is
So eager to go next.
the third thing is I loved being late. I quit.
Did you say you loved being late? You loved.
I was always late to be picked up in the morning.
Oh, that's yeah.
So I was always picked up. I was always late being picked up in the morning. Second thing, me and Rorrie almost got stuck at a haunted mansion. Third thing is I only worked out once in New Zealand.
Late. I just got what you said. Okay. Okay. What do you think? Who thinks it was the working? Thank you. Who thinks it was the working out?
Is that the lie?
Power Ranger. Who thinks the working out was a lie? You have to work out more than that as a Power Ranger.
I expect that from him, but to be fair, we had a very busy
very vigorous.
That was kind of working out, though, wasn't it? Being on set, doing your Power Ranger thing. So, no? Okay. Who thinks that the second one's a lie? Who remembers what the second one was? Huh? Did you get lost in a haunted house? Did Jazz and Rorrie really get lost in a haunted house? Or we just telling a tale of fiction? That never happened. No, I'm just kidding. Now, what do you, okay, which one's the lie? You got to tell us.
The lie is I only worked out once in New Zealand.
That would have to be the case. But where's the haunted house, if you want to share it, Roy? Spookers. It's like a
It's
attraction?
actually a real.
It used to be a mental asylum.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
And a lot of patients there died. So me and Rorrie, everyone else was going to like Queenstown. And me and Rorrie didn't want to go. So we're like, let's go to Spookers. So we took a 50-minute Uber. I don't know why, all the way out there. And we got out there. And right before we got out, the Uber driver, he's like, hey, just so you guys know, around this time, Uber drivers don't come back and like pick you guys up. And we're like, wait, what? So like, how are we supposed to get home? And they're like, oh, well, sometimes they can come out. Sometimes they have taxis. But yeah, it's like you guys are going to be out here. So we're just like, oh, shoot, let me just get your number in case, we get stranded out here. And the dude's like, all right, cool. So you got our number down. And then he kind of just drove away. I don't know, it's weird. So... No, he did for the first one. And then, then we, did the haunted house. Rorrie was scared, grabbing onto me, Jazz. And, we're
I laugh in scary movies, and surprisingly, Jazz is the one that is terrified of things. But it's cool. I wouldn't have said anything if you tried to put it on me, man.
Otherwise, yeah.
I was scared. I got in trouble for scaring people in the haunted house.
I believe it. They're like, sir, can you tone it down?
Told you to wear a mask, Rorrie.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I mean, yeah, come on.
He said it's Halloween, take it off.
Take it off.
No, but Rorrie...
Uh-oh.
Michael Jackson.
No, but Rorrie did, because Rorrie was laughing, and then he, snuck around, then he scared one of the workers that were there. And then she called, I think, the manager, and the manager was all like, hey, we're going to kick you out. You can't do that. Oh, man. And then, that was pretty much it. And but luckily, we easily got an Uber. We just called an Uber, and then it was there.
He was just messing with you, probably, huh?
Probably. Yeah. I think he was trying to instill that fear in us, but which he did.
Or just drum up more business for himself by calling.
Yeah.
You see, that's how this. Think about it.
But it was fun. It was probably the funnest night that we had. One of them.
I do.
I'm glad you got to have it. You got one.
I do have one.
Okay. Well, going to wrap it up for us.
So, which one is it?
Two I read from the internet.
We went to we went to go see the set of Lord of the Rings. I could fall asleep anywhere on set, or I was called a god in the club. Which one is the lie?
Third one.
Who thinks number one's the lie? The third one is the lie?
Wait. Okay, who said the third one?
Who's never been to the bar with this guy?
Okay, who said the second one? The second one was can fall asleep anywhere on set.
Anywhere.
And then the first one was we went to see the Lord of the Rings on set.
Second one, the sleep is a lie.
The second one's a lie.
Is it?
The first one's a lie. The last one's a lie. No, I'm asking you guys.
What do you think?
Is the third one? Raise hands. Second? None. Okay. Oh, okay. And the first one? You guys, it was the first one. The first one's the lie.
Good job then.
Yes. I never went to, because Jazz just said it. We didn't go on that trip to
Queensland.
Queenstown.
anywhere.
We didn't go anywhere. So
tell us about the experience when you were called a god.
Oh, yeah.
They said Roy had a face of an angel and a body of a god.
No, you guys, I was dancing in a club, and I guess they're just not familiar with the guy that can get down and with Noah Mills. And so, yeah, this girl just comes up to me. She's like, oh, my God, are you, at the Roxy, are you a god? And I'm like, I've never been called a god before. I might have to stay in New Zealand and go, yeah, okay. But I had a girl at the time, so I couldn't. But I'm going back now.
At the time,
that was then. This is now.
Oh, man. You know what, guys? Give it up for the amazing cast of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. These guys are great. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us.